Hello everyone, I am Prince, and in this episode I will give you a case study on highly enthusiastic entrepreneur Richard Branson. So without wasting time, let's start. This is a story that begins on July 18, 1950 in Shamley Greens, Surrey, England. Growing up in a traditional family, Sir Richard Branson struggled throughout school due to an undiagnosed problem of dyslexia. He excelled in sports, serving as a captain of both his school football and cricket team, but it was in business that he found his true calling. Despite falling into two early ventures, growing up Christmas tree and raising Australian parrot, he was determined to create his own successful business. When he was 16-year-old, he dropped out of school to move to London and launched Student magazine, which did see relatively more success. But it was in founding the Virgin Mail Order Record Company 3 years later that his life would become something of real significance. His success in selling mail order records led to the opening of a record shop on Oxford in London, and soon after, Branson's very own record label. In a relatively short period, what Branson started as a mail order company had become one of the more significant record label in UK. As much as Branson's name is tied to the Virgin brand, it is also connected to the success of 350 very different operations. Branson is a person is related to who is as a leader and the identity of his company. Branson's belief that his leadership style has its origin in his upbringing, where his parents taught him to stand on his own 2 feet. At age 6, his mother would show him out of his car and tell him to try to find his own way home. At age 10, she put her son on a bike to ride 300 miles. This lesson built character as well as endurance, say Branson's, and also leadership quality. Branson's believe he learned leadership through trial and error since founding his first company, Student magazine, at age 16. What is the most important quality of a good leader? Having a personality of caring about persons is important. He says, you can't be a good leader unless you generally like people. That is how you bring out the best in them. He reinforced that message with all his CEOs and top managers. Branson's philosophy of leadership are the actual nuts and bolts. How does a man who owns 350 companies get it all done? Branson places enormous value on time management skills. Branson says he spent about a third of his time on troubleshooting, another third on new projects, both charitable and business, and the last third on promoting and talking about the business. He learned early on to develop his delegation skills. As much as you need a strong personality to build a business from scratch, you also must understand the art of delegation, says Branson. I have to be good at helping people run the individual business, and I have to be willing to step back. The company must be set up so it can continue without me. Branson has been tagged as a transformational leader in the managing lexicon. In order for his process to work, employees must be happy. Branson says his philosophy of look for the best, you will get the best, helped him build an empire recognized for its young fun culture. For the people who work for you and with you, you must lavish praise on them at all time. Branson says, if a flower is watered, it flourished. If not, it shrivels up and dies. It's much more fun looking for the best in people. People don't need to be told where they have slipped up and made a mess on something. They will sort out it themselves. Branson feels strongly that if an employee will not excelling in one area of the company, he or she should be given the opportunity to do well in different Virgin Group's jobs. Hiring is rarely an option. Motivational strategies extend to innovation ideas. The key to encouraging innovation within the Virgin ranks, suggests Branson, is to listen to anyone and all ideas and to offer feedback. Employees often leave company, he reasoned. Branson has developed a level of trust with his top managers by setting the direction and then stepping back to let them navigate. I came up with an original idea, spent the first 3 months immersed in the business. I knew the ins and outs and then give chief executive a stake in the company and asked them to run it as if it their own, explains Branson. I will intervene as little as possible, give them that, and they will give everything back. Trust in manager and employees is a particularly important as Branson looks to build Virgin. Adding more companies to the catch makes it that much more difficult to be everywhere at once. Hence for Branson explanation, yet for Branson expansion is always a priority. Virgin is an unusual brand. He notes because it is a way of life brands. Unlike Western brands like Coca-Cola or Nike that focus on one type of product, Virgin challenges big businessmen in competitively different sectors.